My husband and I started Long Beach Beer and Bread Lab around 3 years ago. One of the reasons why we started this garden is so we can be a little more sustainable. We've always tried to source from urban gardeners and local farmers, but it's kind of hard, especially right now when the supply chain is super broken. We're still trying to support local farmers, but now we can also source a lot of things on our own. We use yeast in the beer and the bread, and we kind of do this circular sharing kind of thing.
Like beer, wort and stuff will go into making bread?
And also we do have beers made out of bread. And my sourdough starter, we sent it to a lab. It's actually not, there's no lactobacilli in it. It's Brettanomyces that creates a lactic acid.
Okay.
A local home brewer isolated it, and he just used it in a saison that tastes amazing. He says it ferments super fast, and it's a really strong yeast. So that's we just have fun. That's what we do.
That's awesome. All right.
And this is Ryan.
First time in the backyard garden here in Long Beach, Bixby Knolls.
So when we moved here, we were like so busy opening our business that it was just it was not disgusting, but it was just too big for us to even pay attention to. And we have kids, so probably for the first 2-3 years we lived here, we didn't even come back here. Rye came back here, but not us. We just planted grapes right there, and then we have a pomegranate and figs right here. This is guava, very new.
Guava, beautiful.
Yeah, finger limes. This finger lime tree is 2 years old, so we do get finger limes.
Are they kind of like key limes? Or?
I'm wondering if there's any on here right now. Here's one.
Oh, what? What?
Here, taste it. I don't know how ripe it is, but it's delicious.
That is so cool.
Even if it's not super ripe.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Is that good?
That is so different and cool.
Yeah, so you can use it. We did like a beer pairing menu once that we did young coconut ceviche, and we put this on top. But people use it in mixed drinks, in desserts, in salads.
Finger lime tree.
Yeah, we have passion fruit. This passion fruit is about 2 years old also. As you can see, it kind of is taking over.
Yeah.
I think I have like one passion fruit though, and I don't know where it is.
No worries.
So we built a coop. The coop is not done yet.
Nice.
So it's still not totally enclosed, and we're actually opening up this red barn over here to make it a little bigger.
Wow. So you're gonna put a hole in the side of the barn there and let them move back and forth?
The boys, I have 2 teenage boys, they just cleaned it out today. So
nice.
Here, we'll introduce you to Doe first. This is Doe.
Hey, how you doing, man?
This is Colin.
Good to meet you, bro.
Sasha. Sasha is not getting along with the other chickens. Is she gonna? Here, come here. She's so beautiful, but what are you doing?
So, what's it like owning chickens in a relatively urban environment?
I mean, chickens are amazing. I never thought birds had so much personality until I had them. They're all so different, and they have a lot of personality. You want to go to Dove?
What are the zoning things around here? Like, how many are you allowed to have?
I think you're allowed to have 25, and they have to be 6 feet away from your neighbors.
Okay. And is that all of Long Beach or Bixby Knolls specifically, or is it like a land? Is it the size of your land?
I don't think it's the size. I know there's a lot of people who know a lot more than me
it's
about
fine. Yeah,
this.
no,
Sorry.
I'm just curious. No problem.
I know they have to be 6 feet away from your neighbors, and I
good.
think 25 is the number. But I'm not sure if it has to do with the size of your land. I think it's just the area that you live in.
Okay. And where did you get them?
All different places. The only thing is I don't agree with people who order them in the mail. I feel like it's super cruel.
Yeah, it is.
are you doing? We got her.
Any local people who?
Yeah.
Chicks,
so my other son decided he wanted her, and he has 2 silkies in the house, babies. And he arranged it without us even knowing on Craigslist.
Wow.
And from these people in Lakewood who raise rare chickens. And so he picked her up. But her problem is she doesn't have a friend she came with. So usually when we get them, there's like at least 2 of them. So they can kind of go in there and you know, chickens are super cliquey.
Right, gang up.
So yeah, they're all ganging up on her. I feel really bad. And she I know. And I think she wants to be a house chicken. I had her and Rye in the house feeding them blueberries last night, and they were just as happy as can be.
Nice.
Here, you want to take her?
All right, so you got plenty of tomatoes, I see.
Oh yeah, so we went heavy with the tomatoes and with the peppers.
Nice. Do those do pretty well in this climate?
Yes, the tomatoes are doing really awesome. This was our overflow one. We built all these, and we thought this would be enough. And then my husband ordered all this dirt that they. Right. He thinks he's playing. Once they run, then he thinks they're playing.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
Sasha, come on. No, she's gonna run away from me.
So you guys built this out of extra bricks and stumps
exactly.
and stuff?
So we had all this leftover
really cool.
dirt, and so we built this with just stuff we found around the yard.
DIY raised beds.
Yeah.
You can do it however you need to. And then a DIY trellis over there.
Yeah, for the
PVC and
for the tomatoes. And
that's like a dog crate gate.
Oh yeah, that's our old dog crate. I mean,
awesome.
He's too big for it now, right?
Awesome.
That's for when he was a puppy. I can't believe you pulled that out.
Oh yeah, no, I'm familiar with these.
I know
these
you
cruel...
don't need to be fancy.
Right,
you
exactly.
Got to do it, and then so these are the tomatoes. These are some of the tomatoes. These are serranos, I think, that I should pick because they're kind of hanging over.
What about this? I've never seen something like that.
What is that? I think that is also serrano. Yeah.
Yep, serrano. Nice.
These are poblanos.
Ooh, cool.
We got a few poblanos. We're trying to pick the fruit just because the plants aren't really strong enough for the fruit yet. So like you see all these heavy tomatoes.
Right.
I need to pick these today because they just weigh the plants down, and then the plants they can't grow like they should.
Right. Okay. So you
and then
netting up to kind of
Usually I have time on like Fridays. I come and I pick everything. This is a lot of small tomatoes. We use a lot of these we have a summer margarita at the brewery, so we use a lot of the small tomatoes.
Okay.
The bigger ones we kind of keep and eat ourselves.
Nice.
We had like a whole hydroponic basil thing going on at the brewery, but nobody was taking care of it.
Oh wow.
So all of these basils, and then against that wall over there, were from the hydroponic grow at the brewery, and then we thought they were dead, but we're like, let's just try to plant them in dirt, and then look at them. They look amazing.
Nice.
These are, and
Squashes.
we have to take care of all the PM on the leaves, but these are all butternut squash. So one of the urban
butternut, nice.
Yeah, one of the urban farmers, his daughter made me all these seedlings of butternut squash.
Okay.
And also passion fruit, which I planted along this fence there.
Rad. And how do you deal with, what did you call this, white stuff on here?
How do I deal with that? That's up to my husband. He knows all the stuff.
Okay.
He knows all the stuff.
Is this eggplant? Or...
Yes, the eggplant is so good. So I'm seriously, every Friday I'm coming and I'm picking eggplant, and they're growing again.
Wow. So it seems like nightshade veggies do really well out here. Tons of peppers, tons of tomatoes.
Tons of peppers. We have ghost chilies, we have cayenne.
Now, do you change it up for the winter in these
beds? So I just got all these seeds that I'm sprouting right now, and I'll plant those. I have room to plant some now. We also, if you notice down in there is a bunch of beets, even though the chickens eat a lot of the greens.
Oh yeah.
We did, before we had all the butternut squash, we had beets in here, and they were just too close together. They weren't growing, so we
spread them out down there.
We spread them out over there.
And where do you start your little seedlings?
When or where?
Where?
Just like in a paper towel in a little Ziploc bag, and then
you direct
I'll
seed them into the ground,
transplant them. No, like into one of these like
little tray containers.
And then I'll transfer them into the dirt once they're kind of a little sturdier.
Okay.
And then.
Ooh, it's the herb garden.
The herb garden, and the herb garden has been here. The rosemary was actually here. The one in back.
Nice.
What are you doing?
Is it 2 different types of rosemary?
Yeah.
Very
So
cool.
the one in back was here when we moved in. This one, it's a little more. Oh my gosh, she's
a little stronger.
Yeah, it's a little more ornamental. This one is the one you want to eat, right? And then the bed of oregano we planted.
Wow, nice. So, is the shade helping, or are they kind of shade loving?
Look up.
Time.
Oh my gosh,
It's
if you look
it's
up,
understory.
see this tree? Like
Oh,
everything was
Bougainvillea.
falling on them, and everything
Right.
was dying.
Got you. They're suffocating under
So-
bougainvilleas or whatever.
Yeah.
So they get the morning sun then?
Yeah.
And then that's about it? Okay.
Yeah, and they're fine. Like the oregano is really thriving. We have some little buggies eating. We're gonna spray some neem oil soon, and
Nice. That's sage back there.
the sage is doing all right, but it needs neem. And what's up? You want her?
So how do you spray the neem?
We have this little pump that Levy mixes water. He dilutes everything, and then he comes and spray mists it everywhere.
Nice.
I think you can get that from Home Depot.
Nice. Okay.
This probably needs a little more water back here.
And this is lavender, or?
This is lavender.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so all of this we use in our olive bread. All of these herbs here.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's really cool.
Okay.
And yeah,
Beautiful.
that's our little water system for the chicken.
Nice. Can we see the chickens here?
Yeah, come see the chickens. And also, so a lot of our compost, except I'm yelling at everyone who's putting onions in the compost because they don't eat the onions.
I got you.
But even you see some leftover bread, they love it.
I bet.
Those were,
A lot of habaneros.
yeah. I think Alex came and did some pickling this morning, and those were the ones he didn't want to deal with. They were kind of looking not great.
So they pretty much eat anything, almost anything except for onions.
Yeah, they don't really like citrus or onions, but
Yeah, I see the
yeah,
citrus
they
juice,
don't
that's
really
it.
like the citrus.
Do they eat the habaneros?
Yeah, they love peppers. I don't know if they can
Brave
taste
chickens.
spicy. Yeah, I don't
Right.
know if they're.
And then this is their sleeping area.
Yeah, you can kind of peek in there. There's one girl in there. She's broody. We tried to get. There she is.
So what's the system?
We
you
tried to
let
get-
them out, and you lock them in here.
Yeah,
at
yeah.
night,
So
and
there's a little door right here. They all just kind of go in here
right.
in the evening time, and then we close it.
Is that a rooster?
No.
Oh, I got you. Just got the
No, we don't have a rooster because we
Okay.
don't want to get any
Yeah.
fertilized eggs.
smart.
And we're getting probably 8 to 12 eggs a day.
Right.
A lot of these, the barred rocks and the olive eggers, are too young still to lay.
Okay. How many chickens do you have total?
I don't know. Not 25.
Not 25. No. So, and you said you use some of this in your bread as well. You
Oh,
use
the
their
eggs. Yeah,
or-
yeah. So usually my sourdough doesn't have eggs in it. It's vegan, but we do a challah bread for the weekends, and that we'll use the eggs in.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Wow, this is amazing. How much would you say it took to get this set up? What was the investment for this size of the operation? Obviously,
so-
people can start smaller, but
Yeah, so my boys and Levy probably spent a good 3 days on this, and it's still there's some issues. It's still, I want them to cover over there. There's
Right.
an opening. The bigger
just
girls,
make sure no raccoons can get
well,
through or whatever.
nothing can really get in.
Okay.
We did have, so we didn't totally enclose it first, and then we saw the error of our ways really quick because we saw hawks or falcons or whatever try to dive for them, which was
Wow.
really scary.
Wow.
So then we enclosed it. The big girls can't get out, but I have these little girls.
They're hoppers.
Yeah, they almost fly,
Wow.
which is so interesting that they can kind of fly when they're little.
So what are the different breeds? You said there was one. I love the colors on this.
So Fennel over there, she's a blonde. These two, they're what are they called? Buff Orpingtons. They call them. Yeah, they call
What a
them
name.
the Labradors of chickens
Wow.
because they'll just you can train them.
Okay. And do they? No worries. Do they produce like different types of
color
eggs?
eggs? Yeah. So we have like cream eggs. We have some dark speckled ones. Eventually the barred rocks.
Which ones are
Those are all the ones that kind of look the same. Some of them are olive eggers and some of them are barred rocks. So the olive eggers, I think they lay like a dark green.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, and then in back you can't see, we have one baby Arcana, and I think that she'll do like maybe a light blue or something. Whoa, and then we have cool. a baby Leghorn that will do the white eggs.
Okay. This is so cool.
Yeah. So I don't have any eggs because I can show you a picture. We used them all this morning.
That's good.
For the at the beer lab, yeah.
For tomorrow.
So yeah, this is gonna be, I think, so much nicer for them also.
Oh yeah. Very nice. Yeah, they'll have.
Right?
Is this where they're gonna roost? Or?
No, so I think we're gonna turn this thing into like a food hut, food and water.
Okay.
So that they can, maybe we'll open it up
Feed and shelter.
Yeah, just to feel a little more enclosed, just
nice.
for the grain. Nice. I'll show you. Lady built these feeders right here.
Oh, cool.
So we don't have to go in and feed them every day because these are like full of food, and then it has like an opening on the other side that they can just peck in there. Yeah, and the same thing with the water. Like we just fill this up,
that's cool.
And it goes in there, and there's these like little nipples hanging that they can. And then they love.
They can drink from?
Yeah, they also love to drink from a bowl. So we put one on like a high drip.
Got you.
That they can come. Yeah, they just. I don't know. They just like it.
They're used to it.
Yeah. But they'll do both.
Okay. So what do you like about the eggplants? You said they're easy to grow.
The eggplants
high producers.
they're really easy to grow. They need they do well in intense sun. A lot of my other ones have needed way more water than the eggplants, and they're producers. They're really great.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Is there a certain type?
These are all Japanese eggplants.
Japanese eggplants.
Yeah, my husband is allergic to those like big fat ones. So.
Oh really?
Yeah, these are less pithy. They have like less of the inside.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Cayenne is the best producing pepper.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like what is sriracha made out of? If you think about like the big time hot sauces are made out of cayenne because they're such great producers.
Right.
A really great thing about having your own garden is that you don't have to go to the supermarket as often. It's kind of a scary time to be out in big crowds. So if you can harvest stuff for yourself, then it's great. Have everything you need. And also my kids are totally into it. So my kids are now they're in high school, they're in school online. So
they can hang out out here with the
what?
They can hang out here with the plants.
Exactly. I mean, they come and they have the chickens to interact with, of course, our dog, but also they work in the garden, and it really is kind of therapeutic and spiritual, and just gives them something to care for and do instead of being bored out of their minds, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So,
well, this is amazing. This has been a huge pleasure. Thank you. LB Beer.
Yeah,
and
LB Bread.
Bread.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah, come visit us.
Definitely.
Yes.
You're located where?
We are at 518 West Willow Street on Willow between Magnolia and Daisy.
Awesome.
Yes, thank you.
You heard it here.
Thank you.
Cool.